is talking about.
What's up, family? On July 8, 2019, Captain Gaz and his band of thugs beat down an inmate at the Lake Correctional Institution in Lake County, Florida. I was sent the video by Chantel Grace, who is the sister of Otis Miller, the man who was attacked in the video. The video was filmed by another inmate who saw what was going on and thought that, you know what, let me film this, man, because what they're doing is wrong. The video has gotten out. It's not completely viral yet, but I will do my part to make sure that the word gets out and we expose this band of organized legal thugs within the prison system in Florida. And let me tell you something. This is going on all over America. These COs ain't no different from many of these cops out here on the streets. Totally stretching their authority, abusing people's civil rights. I mean, just clowning, acting like just common criminals. But they want to be respected. And they wonder why there's so much crime and disorder in America. The people who are wearing the badges, many of the people who are wearing the badges, who have sworn to uphold the law, they're the very ones breaking the law. We need an LENS type to come in and clean this thing up, because it's bad, y'all. It's real bad. Now, they don't know why the guy was being beaten. It hasn't come to light yet why they was beating them in the first place, but there's like several cops got the guy surrounded, and I mean, there's one cop just going in on him, just going in. I mean, just laying into the dude. And you know how they do, just like a gang. You know, you get gang. You know, they gang up on you. You know, it's way more than people that's necessary to stop an assault, stop any type of aggression on your behalf. Very disgusting, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all check out the video. I'll put the link in the description so you can see for yourself. But man, now this guy, Otis Miller, he is a nonviolent offender who was serving a 30-year sentence for drug sales and battery on, well, actually, he was not serving the battery on a law enforcement officer at this time. He's in jail for drugs, a drug offense. But he did have a case back in the Gap for battery on a law enforcement officer. Now, some of y'all, of course, you know, like, any little thing that you see, like, well, you know, he was convicted or charged with beating up a law enforcement officer before, so therefore it must be justified. He's a violent person. What he did in the past didn't have nothing to do with that particular incident that took place on July 8th. Had absolutely nothing to do with it. So some of you suckers out there that's always looking for a reason, looking for an excuse. I mean, you'll find any excuse but to just straight up say, you know what, this ain't right. It don't matter what he did. You're not supposed to use more force than that is necessary to stop the threat. I mean, that's the way they treat us, right? That's the way we citizens have to operate. We can't have a situation where somebody stares us down and we just pull out a gun and shoot them. Well, I fear for my life. We can't do that. We going to jail for a gang of years. Now, the officer at the Department of Corrections, Secretary Mark Inch said that the video was deeply disturbing, and you know how they say, and that their Inspector General's office has launched an investigation. He said that the officers involved have been identified and they have been taken out of contact with the inmates and will not return to full duty until the investigation is complete. He also said that those found participating in abuse could face administrative and criminal charges. What the hell you mean could? How about will? These words are very important. See, that could let you know right now that it's going to be some sweeping under the rug. It's going to be some cover-up going on. What does you mean could? Had it been one of us, they would have said will face. You know what I'm saying? They would have been like, and it wouldn't have been no administrative leave. They would will face criminal charges. That's the language they use. But because they're COs, they're so-called members of law enforcement, they could face administrative leave and criminal charges. Administrative leave at the least, they should be out. They shouldn't be allowed to go to another institution. They should be fired and never again rehired. They violated the public trust. There should be a severe penalty for that. They should lose that. Also, I say they should lose pensions. When these people of law enforcement, they swear that they're going to uphold the law and they're going to treat people fairly and all this type of stuff, and you give them that badge and that gun and that authority and they abuse it, they should lose their pension too. See, that's how you curb it. That's how you stop it. Until we get to a point to where there are severe penalties, severe ramifications for the actions of those officers who violate the law, who violate people's civil rights. Nothing's going to change because they have no incentive to change. Right now, a person can reasonably argue that they're being incentivized to be corrupt because in almost every case, they get paid suspension. Imagine if you were suspended from your job and you got to kick it, lay back, still get paid until the drama blows over. Could be weeks, could be months, could be a year or two. And you steadily racking up free money. They talked about relocating Otis Miller. That's not necessarily a good thing. They should get rid of all officers involved because being at that particular prison, he could be in a situation where he's made it as comfortable as he can for himself in prison, as a person could be in prison. You know, maybe he got all this little side hustle going. Maybe he is close to home and they uproot him. They could be punishing him and he's the victim. But they said that this is a very bad prison. I mean, all prisons are pretty bad, but they say this particular prison is particularly corrupt and that the guards are very, very violent. So, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing that they're relocating him. In any event, man, I find it ironic that the very same corruption that allowed that camera phone into the prison is the same corruption that exposed them. Ain't God good? No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
Yeah.